The British government have officially confirmed that the UK is now ready to leave without a trade deal on WTO terms. Throughout these old negotiations with the EU, the UK cabinet have been, as a bluff, as a negotiating tactic, been telling Michel Barnier's team that we are more than happy to leave without a deal. But now things are changing. It's becoming more of a guarantee rather than just words, because all the other trade talks with South Korea, New Zealand, the US, they are now going really well. And Liz Truss has now said that those potential trade deals will be ready to sign the moment we leave the transition period at the end of December, which means Barnier's team need to change their behavior. Now, in the Telegraph, we have the number 10 team warning the EU that they must kick things into gear over the trade talks or risk no deal. So we're going to look into this article in this video. I know this is supposed to be my daily vlog at 8 p.m, but as those of you who follow me on Twitter know that I've just moved to a new flat, so I'm just going to do the video here. Also, obviously, once a week we answer the questions we get from the members of this channel, so we're going to answer all that. There's a lot to cover in this video, so make sure to watch the whole thing. Now, this article is talking about how Barnier is complaining again, saying that the UK has been taking a step back, 2 steps back, 3 steps back from the original commitments. What? How? When did this ever happen? Yeah, in today's edition of Things That Never Happened, the UK's red lines have always been clear since January, when we left and we stopped being a member. This is not the Theresa May's team you're dealing with. This is Boris Johnson. And David Frost has been very good, and it's been very clear. No level playing field, no fisheries, no direct links to the customs union. ECJ cannot have a direct rule over us. Just stop this madness. And one of the British government sources, a senior source, has said that it is the UK that is driving any progress being made in this negotiation. The Commission are either not ready or not willing to inject momentum. They need to put some political reality into their approach and appreciate that they cannot use their usual tactic of delay to drag the talks into the autumn. By then it will be too late, as businesses need to know what to prepare for with as much time as is practicable. It's true, because I think, unlike what we had with Theresa May, which talks kept going to the end, I think the British government will either end up getting some sort of skinny trade deal in the next 2-3 months before September, October, or by September, October, the government will give up, probably October actually, give about a couple of months time, and will give up and say, this is it. Businesses need to get ready for WTO, and it should be fine because everything's already in place. And we'll have the EU coming back to crawl to beg for something to happen. This is a very fascinating development, because we were kind of afraid of the last couple of months, thinking Boris Johnson's team might just give in last minute, because we're talking about the June deadline, because June is when both sides have to agree if they want to extend the transition. That's not happening. So this is the last chance. This is the round 4 of the negotiations, just started yesterday, and things could rapidly change from the EU side, because they're in a financial crisis. They definitely need us as a partner. They should just stop being children. Now, as I said, we have a lot of questions from the members, so on this issue and other issues as well, with everything's happening these days, especially in America. So let's go to some of them. Susan says, I can't understand why the protesters in London and journalists regarding the Dominic Cummings saga are not getting arrested by the police for breaking the social distancing rules. Why are they allowed to get away with it? I agree, it's a massive hypocrisy. Although the guidelines have now changed, the police aren't really allowed to arrest people based on that. But they should definitely be exposed, because not only the journalists who've been chasing Dominic over the past couple of weeks, but then the new, wave of idiots and millennials who are shouting at the police outside Number 10 these days for something that's happened in a different country. These are the same people who were attacking Cummings like a week ago. Mary Davis says, having seen you being interviewed earlier this week, I think this is the Peter Whittle show, When are you going to put yourself forward to be London's mayor, Maya? Mayor Maya. This question keeps coming up about the possibility of me running for London mayor next year. We don't know. This is I'm turning into Boris Johnson about 10 years ago. Every time someone asks me if he wants to become prime minister, I don't know how to answer this question because it really depends on how things go in the next 6 to 9 months. If I genuinely feel like if Sean Bailey as the Tory candidate has a bit of a chance to actually win, then I wouldn't really want to risk dividing the vote to get Sadiq to win. But if it's kind of clear that Sadiq Khan's going to be winning anyway, then at that point, I do believe London and the London elections need a bit of a shake-up, a bit of a different character to stand up as a campaigner to expose the truth. And I might consider it at that time. And, Mayor Maya sounds nice, apparently. So Daryl says, hi, Maya. On the subject of free speech, would you have Tommy Robinson on to discuss his treatment at the hand of the establishment? Yeah, well, as I've said many times, I'm more than happy to have anybody on this channel from the hard left, hard right, up, down, centre. I've even invited Owen Jones. He's refusing to come on the show, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I'm more than happy to interview anybody, whether it's on our side or the opposite side. So if anyone's interested, just get in touch. Kevin says, Maya, can you raise a question? Where's the question gone? This is about the social distancing measures again, especially with touring sites and why motorhomes sites are still closed. I think this will be reviewed at the end of June. That's all I know, to be fair. Just like other kind of hospitality sector in general. It's been quite slow, but I think the government is now trying to ease the lockdown a lot quicker than we thought. The original plan for a lot of these places was supposed to be mid-July, then the beginning of July. Now there are talks of doing it at the end of June, so just wait and see. Steve says, it's not Sunday, but we'll forgive you as moved. Oh yeah, this is because last night on Monday, usually I post on the members community page every Sunday so that members could submit their questions. But this week last night it was Monday because I was moving, obviously, and I've completely forgot it was Monday. So I said, "Happy Sunday, everyone." I'm losing it completely here. The lockdown is driving me insane. Sorry about that. Scott, why is it that the left-wing media say that Dominic Cummings is the architect of lockdown? He runs the government policies. Yet no one seems to thank him for trying to keep jobs open under furlough. That's very fascinating. That's a very good question, Scott. Firstly, yes, Dominic is not the architect of the lockdown policy. It was Neil Ferguson, not Cummings. And they say he runs the government and policies. Firstly, he's not. He wishes he has that much power. He has a lot of influence, but not based on every single policy. But if that's the case, are they going to give him any credit for all the good policies that the government's doing? Saving all these small businesses? Probably not. Daniel says, with everything that's going on in America now in the streets, do you think that this has secured President Trump's re-election for November? Or could this go against him? At this time, if it continues to escalate, it would definitely help him because Joe Biden is Joe Biden. He's going to make people miss Hillary at this point because the moment that you have the crazy liberal left-wing media and commentators attacking Trump, that's when you know he's doing good. He's doing well because the moment that Trump has to be worried, which was the last kind of few days ago, a lot of people, the wavering votes and the Trump voters were worried that he's not acting quickly, and he did. So I know the people say it's aggressive. People say that he's going to be very tough on the protesters. And this is going to be bad for him. Pretty sure that's not the case because people like strong law and order. So the way things are going, I think he's going to win. Unless this gets out of control, then yeah, it might damage his credibility. We don't know. Philip Page says, Maya, how do you feel about the term new normal that's being used by the press? Oh, I hate it so much. There is no such thing as new normal. We're talking about after this crisis, now everything is going to change forever. That's not how things work. There's no such thing as new normal. Hence the word normal, because certain things will change for a while, short term and then medium term. Long term, not really, not in that sense, because we have gone through things like this and other things previously. The things that change psychologically throughout history when it comes to human behavior are things that are even more drastic, and also they last longer as a process. For example, between 1938 to 1944, things like that. Between 1914 to 1918, those have a longer impact on the human behavior. People will go back to their normal lives. Matt, if you had to take a bet now on no deal or WTO, on a deal or a WTO, which way do you think it would go and why? As I said earlier, I think it's more likely that we'll get the EU to come back with a skinny deal, not a full comprehensive trade deal at the end. They cannot. I don't think they're going to get France or the Netherlands to agree to give up on their fisheries and things like that. They might agree on not doing the level playing field to that extent, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be a proper deal at this point. Right. Sheila says, hope you have settled in your new place. When can we see more cooking? Yeah, let me just unpack everything first. It's taking me a couple of days, and then I'll show you around the flat, and I'll show you the area, because I'm right next door to the Tower Bridge and then London Bridge. It's a nice place to vlog, because obviously recently I was living near Hyde Park. I did a lot of videos in the park, so there's going to be a new view for everybody. Tim, Maya, the migrants issue is getting out of hand with this good weather. The French authorities are working with the UK border force to bring them in instead of returning them to France. Would you have Nigel Farage to come on the show? On the issue of Nigel Farage coming on the show, do not tell anyone, but there could possibly be, this could happen soon, but don't tell anyone. I mean, I'm literally saying this publicly in a video, but just we'll see. We're working on it. But it seems like Priti Patel is changing the policy. She's now working with the Home Office and Defence, actually, to stop this taxiing situation where we are just taking them in. Basically, the French side are escorting them to our side, and we're just taking them in. So that's going to be changing, but we'll keep you guys posted on this channel. We're not going to give up until that changes. One or two more questions, and then we'll end this. Obviously, I don't want you to show this is Mr. Privacy. I don't want you to show all your cards, but what is your career plan? Do you have any political ambitions? Where do you see yourself heading? You certainly sound like someone who makes sensible decisions. It's like going to a family house party, but people keep asking questions. Why are you not married yet? Do you have a job? I'm more focused on continuing this media revolution that we've started. I think there are bigger issues to tackle. Instead of just wanting to become an MP or something. I can't stand the system, the way the politicians work, the way the whole thing is structured, and especially the main political parties. So yeah, I'll rather focus on the media side for now, and I see how things go. But thanks for the support. Last question is, do you think Priti Patel will be sacked if she didn't publish the grooming report and they didn't control the migrant issue? Well, don't think she will be sacked by Boris in that sense, unless it's really bad, the situation. Firstly, the report will be published. There's a lot of gossip going around on social media about, oh, this is not going to be published properly, or who are these insiders telling people like this information? The whole point of the government, they have this secrecy that we don't know until it's published. So let's not judge it until it's published. And if it's not published in full, I'll go full out. I'll criticize the whole thing. I'm not going to make any speculations at this point. But if they're not publishing the whole thing properly, then that's not good. But at this point, just wait and see what they do. And also, we're still living in a democracy, it's British democracy. If people and voters aren't happy with Priti Patel and the government, they can vote against them in the next election. That's how you've hire and fire politicians in this country. You don't really bring them down like we did with Stalin. So, well, he didn't. It was brought down differently. This is what we have for you guys today. I hope you had a great time watching this. I hope you gained some information about what's happening with Brexit and everything else. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe if you want to support the channel. Because if it's because of you guys backing me that I can continue my work full time doing this and campaign to oppose the mainstream media. Then make sure to join our membership club. You'll get a lot of benefits. I know a lot of YouTubers and people who do podcasts get donations from supporters and without giving anything back. But our membership club, we always try to give something back in return, so that it's not just a empty blank donation from your side. It's a partnership. It's free trade. And if you're a new member, if you haven't joined yet, when you join, we have a surprise for you guys, so that you guys could be more involved with the channel directly and discuss things with me. I'll stop the video here. I hope you have a great evening or morning, wherever you are. I'm Tousi. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.